Greetings, geeks and girls. Wow, that was a long intro. Welcome back to the Nerd Cave with another comic book movie review. Today, we're going to be talking about the Superman original movie with Richard Donner, Christopher Reeve, and I forget the rest because my brain is bad. But, nonetheless, let's talk about it. I think the biggest thing to talk about at the beginning of this is the plot. If you don't know who Superman is, here's a brief rundown. On a planet called Krypton, there was a race of the Kryptonians that was under attack in a term of apocalyptic war. Therefore, two parents sent their son Kal-El out into space, hopefully to be the last survivor of their race. He landed on Earth, was raised by a farming family, grew up as Clark Kent, starts working at a beautiful little newspaper area called the Daily Planet. Falls in love with a girl named Lois Lane, realizes that he has powers, uses those powers that he gets from the red sun, or yellow sun, shoot, people are going to kill me now, to save the world as Superman. Now, does this film sound... Now, this film's going to sound a little light on substance, and that's because I basically just told you the plot, or at least half the plot of this movie. First of all, Marlon Brando plays Kal-El's father, who is Jor-El, I believe. I always forget his parents' names, but he does a darn good job playing this character. The only problem I have is that he pronounces Krypton wrong. He says Krypton. It's called Krypton. Yeah, I mean, he got it wrong, but would you try to correct the Godfather? Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, let's move into Christopher Reeve as Superman. He does a damn good job playing the awkward nerd and the heroic superhero. When he's Clark Kent, you really feel bad for him and can kind of relate to him, but also laugh at him a little bit. When he's Superman, he's an all-American hero who's an icon that's better than Steve Rogers ever could hope to be. Yeah, that's right, I said it. Fight me! No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, moving on. We have Lois Lane in this film, who I always forget her names as the actress, and by God... she tries. Their romance is good. Don't get me wrong. But when she has to act on her own, by God, she tried. You know, it just, every second she's on screen, specifically when she's surprised, she looks like she just farted and doesn't want anyone to figure out that it was her. That's the face she makes. Just, It's creepy, first of all, and it's just awkward. And then we have Gene Hackman, who plays Lex Luthor. And, yeah, he didn't shave his head, but frankly, neither did a lot of these actors. Let's move on from that. And he plays the criminal mastermind that we all know and love. Even at his corniest, Lex is still a diabolical mastermind. His power is always up here. And by God, does Gene Hackman have that attitude. He's also pretty funny in this. He has that attitude about him that's still able to be egotistical, but at the same time respectable. Which is very hard to pull off in most of these types of roles. And I don't think there's any other characters to analyze. Alright, well, how's the movie wrap up? Spoiler alert if you don't know the ending to this film. Starting now. Alright, here we go. So, this film ends with Lex Luthor setting up a convoluted plan to trick the hero into killing his own love interest. Gee, that doesn't sound familiar at all. But this movie will be remembered better for it. Maybe. Anyway. So, Lois Lane dies, we have a beautiful moment, and then we have a cop-out where Superman uses his super speed to fly around the Earth super fast and reverse time, which makes many mistakes in its logic. If you want a list, we'll be here for 2 more hours. But as for the way it ends, it's the 70s, so you know you can kind of give it sort of the off-brand that it was around the cornier times of when. Do I really need to say it again? Batman wore a zebra suit, Superman had a team of super pets, and the Flash had a time-traveling treadmill. Yes, I'm going to be saying this every time someone talks to me about something corny happening in a comic book or comic book movie. It was the Silver Age. Stuff like this was really weird. Superman played baseball, okay? Anyway. So, is there anything else I wanted to add about this film? Is there anything I didn't like? Outside of Lois Lane's performance, there's not much to hate about this film. The irony of it is that in this film, the special effects hold up really well, despite the film having no fight scenes whatsoever. All the action is built on drama between the characters. Lois Lane and Superman flying romantically through the city, or Superman having to stop missiles or save kittens out of trees. Hell, even when he has to stop a mugging, he doesn't throw a single punch. Go figure. But I think that I'll have to name my favorite scene in the film. And yeah, it's gotta be the romantic flying scene from the first one. It's just like my favorite moment from the series still is the scene with Superman flying around the Earth and reversing time. But the thing is, I like that because it's so stupid and funny. But if you're talking real quality, my favorite scene in this movie is clearly the flying scene. Him holding up her with only his fingertips, him letting her fall just so he can catch her again. Although it is kind of weird knowing that Superman can see through clothing and know what color Lois Lane's underwear is. Awkward. But now that we've gone through my favorite scenes, what I didn't like, what I did like, the plot, the characters, let's move on to the final verdict. What do I rate this? I'm going to give it 4 symbols of hope. It's not an S. It apparently means hope on their planet. I just made a Man of Steel reference. What the hell is wrong with me? Anyway, so I give this movie a 4 because of one small reason. The plot and characters, and sometimes specifically the dialogue, can get a bit campy. I know I just said that it was... I know it's the Silver Age. I just went off talking about that, and I do like those moments. That's a bad outfit! Woo! I'm wearing a bad outfit. Anyway, but it's still corny, yes, but, you know, as much as I do like it, not everyone does, and I do have to lower that a bit for kind of making it a little too silly. But then again, there's a moment, then again, you can kind of argue that Superman has always been kind of goofy. He's not over-the-top silly or anything, but let's be honest, this is Superman. He's supposed to be the kind, hopeful, energetic hero who will do anything to save his city. And that's what they portray here. So if you're talking about a movie that captures Superman the best, I'd say it's this one. But still, even though I'm kind of taking a point off, I'm still giving it a 4. That's high rankings on this show. So, now that that's over, we're going to be moving on into our next list. What do we have next on our little list? Batman 89 by Tim Burton. Wonderful. So we're going to be going from the Man of Steel to the Dark Knight, go back and forth until we hit ourselves a blank, which is the Dark Knight film. So, what'd you guys think of everything? The new intro, the interesting new format, is it catching on? Is my outfit too corny or stupid for you? I don't know. I need feedback from you guys, otherwise I'm just going to keep changing the layout and everything's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder. Anyway, if you did enjoy this review and other reviews, give them a thumbs up. Really helps me out if I ever actually get a thumbs up from someone who isn't my friend. Lol. Anyway, I said lol out loud. I need to stop. Subscribe for more nerdy goodness, including nerd talks, edited videos, and reviews, just like this one. I might start something different, but why change now? I've changed enough already. And until the next review, take it easy, geeks and girls.